And I called them, and I think she was at Case Western, and I had a 6 o'clock in the morning call because that's when she was doing it, but they got her for me. You know, like, she's the one face transplant we've had in America, and there was this crazy taking all the organs out, fixing them and putting them back in surgery that was done in like Miami or something. Got to talk to the doctor that actually did it, and he was like, "Hey, you want to talk to the patient?" We were like, "No." But thank you, because you can't like have it directly related. You know, we're gonna make the story our own, even if, you know, we have the information, so we don't get sued. But they have been like an extremely great resource, and them coming in and bringing us topics also stimulates discussion, because we've been going for 6 years, which pales in comparison to SPU, but I'll say it anyway. And, you know, my stories have kind of dried up. You know, they don't really listen to me that much anymore. And I've told a lot of my stories that are from my own experience. So getting these experts and getting people to come out and going to their panels really has helped to stimulate a lot of information, a lot of public health issues that, you know, perhaps we didn't know were even a thing, like the Congo thing would be some interesting. So I think we're trying to get more global health issues out there. I mean, we've got to do something. And once you get to 150 episodes, you've got to like bring something else up and pull other things in. So we're totally open to new topics and trying to make them relevant for our show and for American television. Obviously, it goes everywhere, but just trying to make them work for what we're doing and of course, ER did what they went to Darfur. So, I mean, it's possible to do these stories. It's just, it takes a willingness from way up top, I believe, and then a push and a drive to really want to tell the story and have a really compelling story, and to work for months and months and months, as it were, to make it fit. So,
thank you. That was great, Zoanne. I'm curious, do you see Grey's Anatomy actually tackling global health topics in the future?
You know, it's funny, like our first and second season, Shonda really wanted to do a global warming episode. She didn't know what she wanted to do. She didn't know how it would relate to medicine, and we kind of broke something a little bit, but still haven't quite figured it out. But she's interested in tackling those kinds of issues. So I think it's obviously, you know, something that we'd be able to do if we found the right stories.
We're very interested in supporting you on global climate change. So we'll be in touch on that.
Got ideas, we'll travel.
Okay, thank you. Fantastic. Okay, now let's turn to Kathy Fury from MTV International. Oh, we're going to look at a clip.
On a lighter note, we have Mad Tracks in the house.
Yeah.
Show some love. Yeah. Tell us what you think. Give us some good news, man.
No, as far as condoms go, you have to use one all the time.
But, you know, here's the thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's so natural and human for us to mess up, you feel me?
But when it comes to sex and condoms, you can never mess up.
Okay, I feel you. But, you know, in the heat of that moment, trust me, it's the other head that does all the thinking, you know.
But if you love yourself, you have to take responsibility for your body and your actions.
If the person you're doing it with has this HIV virus, you know, I think they should take the responsibility to come forward and let you know.
That's the problem right now, because not everyone knows their status, and that's why you have to know your status. You have to go out there and find out if you are HIV positive or negative.
I mean, if I had it, let's say I had it, I would definitely take the initiative to let my partner know.
You guys need to go and get tested.
Speak for yourself, Mr. Sheath.
At least I used one, man. And besides, I'm a roundhead.
Now you sheet, roundhead?
Danny, I'm circumcised. It reduces the chances of infection.
Oh, now you've become some kind of doctor. Dr. Roundhead, Sheath.
You know, Kennedy, if you open the book instead of your mouth, you know that circumcision doesn't replace a rubber. So let's just get tested and put our minds at ease, huh?
Welcome to our VCT Center. My name is Nas Mutahi. I would like you to know that there are 3 phases to testing. We have pre-testing counseling, the actual testing, then we have post-testing counseling.
Well, maybe if you're not busy later and if I pass my test, I could take you out for dinner.
Why do you feel you want to know your status?
You know, we've done it a lot.
And has any of you tested before? Okay. So I would like us to talk a little bit more about your personal life. So can we do that together as a group or?
Aye, Bella.
Oh, okay. So you'd like to do it one-on-one? All right. Who will go first?
I'll go.
Wait, who anasema kugeni?
Napeleka Umar msupu for dinner.
Hauko serious?
Yeah, of course.
Cheesy,
Niko form. I'm sorry, but you need to go get tested.
Having multiple sexual partners put you at risk of contracting HIV. Too much consumption of alcohol can also alter your decision-making and your choices, which can also put you at risk. If it just draws one line, that shows that you are negative.
Thank you.
I don't know whether this is very professional.
You got what you wanted, right? Now it's my turn.
Do you have rubbers?
Are you sleeping with anyone else?
No.
Then there's no problem, is there? You're gorgeous when you're angry.
Am I at risk?
What are you talking about?
HIV. Should I be worried?
Do I look sick to you?
We are having unprotected sex. If you cared for me, you'd let me know.
You know, manipulation won't get you anywhere. Now, I need you to look at this copy. The client thinks it's too whimsical. Give her some balls.
I'm done.
If you walk out that door, you'll be committing career suicide. No one quits Maverick.
I'll take my chances. 2 minutes.
There's nothing to talk about.
We need to test for HIV. I put you at risk. And I'm sorry. I know I can't undo what I've done, but for what it's worth, I love you. And I was a fool.
It's your boy Scholar, and I'm back. I just needed some time to find the guts to walk my talk, so to speak. And I'm positive. Yeah, I'm HIV positive. And I definitely know I have your attention right now. Yeah, when I first got the news, you know, I just wanted to hide for the rest of my life. But then there was this angel, Nurse Mutahi. You gave me strength, you know, and I appreciate that. Anyway, for those of you who think that this is some kind of public eulogy, I'm wrong. I have no intention of dying whatsoever. I love life, you know. I just have to find a new way of living it. And maybe that's not such a bad thing, huh? Yeah.
So that was our first localized drama that we did in Kenya. It was actually a 3-part episode, and you can see all of it on our website. MTV works very differently from these guys' shows because obviously we do a lot of different types of programming. So we run a campaign called Staying Alive, which is the world's largest HIV/AIDS media campaign for young people. And it's been going on for 11 years now. And the way we work is we have partnerships with UNAIDS, UNFPA, UNICEF. Sugar was primarily funded by PEPFAR. And they give us the production dollars to produce the shows, and they give us the messages. Then what we do is we come up with the creative forms to put across these messages. So we've done everything from documentaries, concerts, forums, you name it. We've usually only done global shows, and what we term global, we mean it's produced in maybe 5 different countries. We turn it into a 30-minute or 1-hour show and distribute it to all our networks. This last year, we decided to try a new approach because there was the whole issue of, is global programming relevant? Does it work locally? So we thought, well, let's try something different because HIV/AIDS is so different in different countries. The issues are different. The messages are different. So we decided we were going to do it in Kenya because it was a priority market for PEPFAR, but also for MTV, so it made perfect sense to film in Kenya. And we decided to go with a drama because, as anyone who's worked in with HIV and AIDS in Africa, there's so many subjects that are taboo. You're not going to find people who want to come up and on TV and talk about these issues as a personal experience. It's always my friend, somebody I know. We all have that my friend story. So we decided let's do a drama because, one, we can tackle the issues that are taboo without people taking ownership of it, but also because we could do several things where people can identify with the characters or aspire to be like those characters. So we worked, it was a very interesting process. I think you all talked about owning the content, and with MTV, the way we work is our partners get involved with message development, they have script approval, they get to see offlines and approvals, and that gets very frustrating actually because some of our partners think they're producers as well, and when you're asking them to give you talk about the message, and they'll be like, well, do you think he should have worn that shirt? And maybe when he goes in this scene, he should say, and you're like, no, just have we got the HIV/AIDS message right? So it was a very enriching experience because the circumcision part in there was not in the original draft. And that took a long time to get right because I think what everyone's already talked about is that these issues still have to be entertaining. Young people still have to want to watch this. And, young people are a really hard audience to program for because they can't be fooled. They'll switch off as soon as they think it's a government or a preachy message. But it was great. I mean, the response has been so good with Sugar. It's been unbelievable. And don't ask me why it's called Sugar. We make it up. Every time people say, why is it called Sugar? We have to make up reasons why we called it Sugar when it was really, we had no idea what to call it. And somebody said, let's just call it Sugar because sugar is nice. And we'll put an H and a G because then we're making it African. And I'm like, who spells sugar like that in Africa? We're crazy like that. But that worked really well in Kenya, and it's now, all the programming that we produce is all rights-free and cost-free. So it was distributed not only to our own networks, but to an additional 71 broadcasters in 71 countries, and I think about 100 broadcasters. And that aired last year for World AIDS Day. Last year as well, keeping with the localized theme, we also did a 3-part drama in Trinidad, which actually went down really well, but it's interesting when you start working on the global side and you realize how viewing trends are so different. Like, I personally didn't get the Trinidad show. I thought it was boring.